Hello and welcome to the Lotus Club. I'm Dave C, and this is more of my GP Amsterdam testing. GP Amsterdam is Team Trios sealed, but because Team Trios ends up with such high quality decks, I think doing a lot of draft and getting used to the kind of different archetypes and the levels of different decks is important. Also, sealed building eventually, but as I said, the decks end up very much closer to draft decks than sealed decks. And here we have a very interesting pick, and one that I am not quite sure of, and it's Forerunner of the Empire versus Crested Herd Caller. I think the Herd Caller is a flatter power line, 2 3 always good no matter what. But I think the Forerunner of the Empire has much higher upside and has a lot of combos like Needletooth Raptor that kind of push it over the top. I'm not sure which one the pick is. It also has the upside of just being a sweeper against stuff like vampires and low to the ground kind of curve decks. And I think that's why I'm going to go with the Forerunner of the Empire. I think its power level overall is higher, though as I said, the Crested Herd Caller has a flatter power line, is always going to be good, where the Forerunner is not always going to be good. Forerunner also needs certain cards to be good with it. I need to be in a dinosaur deck where the Crested Herd Caller is just good in any green deck. Nice second pick though. Bombard, either the best or second best common. I think Impale is the best common, but you could certainly have an argument for Bombard because it's an instant. And the rest of the pack is quite uninteresting. Famished Paladin is mediocre. Then we have a bunch of role players in different decks, but quite a weak pack. Hunt the Weak. Green Red Dinosaurs is an archetype I like a lot. I think we have Skymarch Aspirant here, who's also solid. What does this guy do again? 8/5. It goes with my Forerunner of the Empire. I have not tried this guy since the very start of the format, but I've never seen it be good even while cast. I think I'm going to go with the safer pick, Hunt the Weak. There's also Sailor of Means here, and Sailor of Means wouldn't be bad either. Besides that, Skymarch Aspirant is good in its archetype, and we could take the Crested, the Sun Crested, but the Chicken as it's called, but I think Hunt the Weak is a little bit better than Sun Crested. Another Sailor of Means is just better than Colossal Dreadmaw, I think. Even though we are going towards a dinosaur deck, I think Sailor of Means ends up a little bit better here. Plus, I would like to maybe end up in one of these 4-color decks with a bunch of Sailor of Means and see how it plays out. I've only got to draft it a handful of times. This doesn't necessarily have to end up in our deck, and this is why the Sun-Crested Herd Caller could have been the better pick, because this needs to kind of be in a not dedicated dinosaur deck, but have good dinosaur targets, where I think I'd be much happier with the Sun-Crested and then Bombard on the splash. This isn't very splashable the majority of the time. I think Dreadmaw is fine, but kind of anemic pick here, so Sailor I think is the best card in the pack, and we're going to take it. What do we take here? We have a Pirate's Pillage, which is another fixing card. It's good with setting the Sailor of Means decks in general. It goes with our first color. This Hunt the Weak doesn't have to be there. Besides that, Soul of the Rapids is fine, and the rest of these cards, Gleam Barrier is fine, and the rest of these cards are things I'm not interested in. So I'm going to take the Pirate's Pillage. Our second chance to pick up a Silverclad Ferocidons, but I'm going to pick our first Pterodon. Squire's Devotion is still in the pack as well, so it looks like white might be a color to be in here. Then some more good blue cards. Crashing Tide, Spirewinder. Maybe we're looking at white, blue, splash red. Forsaken Sanctuary, also decent. We got a Death Spitter, which is fine. We have some cards that could go along with our Forerunner of the Empire and not be embarrassing if we want. We might be red-white, we might be red-blue. Unsure. The rest of these cards are not that interesting. Let's sort these by color. Gonna grab an amulet here. So we're not sure exactly what we want to be doing. Jadecraft Artisan and Dinosaur Hunter also both fine. Gleam Barrier, Raptor, Strider Harness. We're gonna go with the Barrier. Early blocker if we end up like blue-white. Something we certainly want. We just take our first Silverclad Frostodon. It's probably not going to be amazing, but maybe with Forerunner of the Empire, it's just fine. Let's try. Steel Eggs for the blue cards. Not sure which way we're going for sure yet. White just might not be on the table, but that was a very late Pterodon. But people might still be underrating this card. Another Herd Caller. Maybe make up for our pick in the last draft. We can still go red, green here. A lot of these were speculative picks. I might be higher on Sailor and Suncrested Pterodon than others. And it is the best card in the pack. So it looks like what we're going to pick here. We could also pick... We could go for broke and pick the Thunder Herd Migration and just try and be as many colors as we can. But I think I'm going to take the Herd Caller, which has a much higher upside. Shake the Foundation. Okay. Definitely take a Shake the Foundation here. Just solid card. Now we're just kind of left with very good blue cards. Making me want to go into blue again. We only have... Like, our two green cards are very good. But we're not seeming to get, like, just waves of good cards for that color combination. This might just not be in our deck. But the format's slow enough that he might be fine now. And if we have Shake the Foundation and Forerunner of the Empire, it's probably fine. I might just take the Trailblazer because it's worse than the Scoundrels. It's worse than the Expel, and it's probably worse than the Armasaur in our deck, but it just leaves us in green and red and gives us options of what to do. We could also take Evolving Wilds and try and go deep still. I'm going to take the Trailblazer. Blue rearing its head again. Another Sailor of Means, another Dead Eye Caller, a Water Knot. Okay, this is very much pointing towards us being in blue. We have to make a decision. The Ray Caller is the third card here. It is Sailor or Water Knot. There's also a Stone Quarry. Huh. Let's go Sailor, I think. I'm going to Shake the Foundations. Some decent blue flyers. I'm going to go Shake the Foundation. For now, we can put these cards on our board and we'll see if we want them. We have Brainstorm, Augur, Tomb Robbers, decent. We have Highland Lake. I'm going to go Augur. I can go Armasaur, and we could still possibly pivot into green. It's been a hard one to navigate, I think. Now we get a Knight of the Stampede. Or a second Augur. Just want Knight of the Stampede. What does it look like without the blue here? Probably just want Knight of the Stampede, I think. Sorry. These blue cards are also good. Like, the Augur is just a good card. I think I'll go Knight of the Stampede and try and hit this more traditional deck. Nice. So Colossal Dreadmaw tabling isn't like the massive signal, but I think it's still a signal. Urge. Plummet is a good sideboard card. Man, recall. Like, blue is definitely open. Blue is most certainly open. Maybe red isn't as open as I'm making it out to be. Maybe green-blue is where we should have been. We can still pivot back to blue here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards I'd be excited to play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'd have 14 playables either way. This card might end up in our deck, depending on the needs of it. Sailor Means is a very good defensive card as well, since we don't really have a low curve. And now we have to pick a green card here and pounce, I think. Yeah, let's get pounce. You guys might be screaming at me through the screen of how badly I've drafted this one. Trasher Raptors is fine. Commune with the Dinos is like fine. Nothing else here is exciting. Storm Sculptor is an actual very good card now, I think. There's a couple come into play effects. Format's slow enough for it to really take effect. Let's take a Trash of Raptors. Then we have a 2-drop in Knight. I think Knight is probably better than Firebrand in our deck. We also have an Unfriendly Fire. Like, we have a couple of red cards. We're leaving Dino Stampede, Unfriendly Fire, and Firebrand in the pack, so one of these is going to come back. We needed a couple extra small drops. That's not bad. And Ixalan's Binding when we have Traveler's Amulet in the board, I think probably seems good here. We could also splash the chicken, which is probably pretty fine as well. We have Pirate's Pillage to make some mana. It's either that or Commune with the Dinos, and I'm pretty sure one of the Communes will just come back. Or the Hunters, which I think is pretty medium. Then we have a few Shake the Foundations and a Forerunner of the Empire. I wouldn't mind it in my deck, but I think Binding has such big upside here. Could still take the Prosperous Pirates, and then I have Sailor, Prosperous Pirates, and I could just go multicolor here. If I'm not taking that, I would just be taking Brazen Buccaneers, I think. So I think I'm going to hedge a little bit. Another Sailor Means, just going to take that. And it just looks like we're going to be 4-color mess. 4-color mess and eat mess. Wildgrove Walker, Whiptail. Do we have any Explore? I don't think we do. It's a 2-drop, but I think it's more important to have Reach. So we want to play like all these cards. We have 30 playables. Looks like a sealed pool. This format's interesting because some of these are 23rd, 24th cards I have, but most of these are just playables, which I think is amazing. Looks like red might end up a more splash color here, with like Bombard, Double Shake the Foundation, Pirate's Pillage. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. Another Walker. Plus some Dryad for ramp. I think I'm most likely to play a Pyromancer if I want another removal spell. I would only consider maybe 6 or 7 of these cards like strictly unplayable. That's pretty insane. Issue with this deck, with the Sailor Means decks. We have all these Sailor Means. The deck looks pretty decent. We are missing pure bombs. Like Silverclad Ferocidon as our quote-unquote bomb is probably not actually good enough to carry this deck. And while we were open to being all these colors, we didn't actually open any cards where I'm like, oh, bam, bomb, like smash it. Though this card's pretty good with triple Sailor Means and a couple of the other cards I have becoming slightly bigger. Now I kind of wish I had the second Pterodon. I guess I don't think I'm going to end up playing this guy, but I'm definitely not end up playing the 1-drop, and this could be a win condition. Looming Aerosaur might actually see play here. Okay, we got a lot of sorting to do here. Let's get our blue cards out first, because it's what most of fixing's about. So let's sort by color. Let's get our blue cards. We have Soul Rapids, Pirate. Here's our blue base, and I think we'll always play Gleaming Barrier. We're always going to play an Amulet here. We have like a white splash, and our white splash is Pterodon, Binding, and this 7-drop because we need more finishers. 5, 6, 7. I think green is probably just going to be a main deck option here. We got a Grazing Whiptail, we have a Hunt a Weak, we got a Pounce. All these seem fine. And I think red is our other color. What does red give us? Red gives us Knight, which I think is decent with all of our dinosaurs. Forerunner of the Empire, which I think is decent in this deck. Gives us Bombard. Gives us double Shake the Foundation. And this is what this deck would look like at the moment. How many dinosaurs do we actually have for the night? 1, 2, 3, 4. Only like 5. Knight isn't actually looking that good here. I think we could play the Death Spitter though. These are also 2 cards that I kind of want involved. I kind of want to try this as well. These are all cards I feel like I kind of want involved. I think the Recaller is looking kind of mediocre. Let's get that out of there. I think we only need to cut one more card because we have Triple Sailor of Memes and a Prosperous Parts for mana. I'm not sure what it is, so the rest of these cards are all pretty decent. I think it might just be the Knight. Triple Sailor Means puts us back in the game blocking wise pretty hard. Maybe it's the Pounce. Like, we only have a handful of cards we want to pounce off of. This is close. This card is good. All I'm looking at this deck and I'm just wishing I had like 2 more of this. Instead of like the Solved Rapids. I think I'm just cutting the Solved Rapids though. Don't think it's that good in our deck. And yeah, I think this is the final cut. I think we're playing only 1 Plains. And then let's see what's recommended to us. Definitely only 1 Plains, because we have 4 or 5 ways, 5 ways to make white mana with treasures, and we have a Gleaming Barrier if that ever dies, and we have a Traveler's Amulet. Blue needs more, because we have the Sailor of Means, just fixes so much mana in our deck. And then there's a 5/5/5. Why just be 5/5/5? Means each one technically has 6 sources with the Traveler's Amulet. Yeah, this kind of looks fine. We have like double green, triple double green, which is like unfortunate. But I think that's probably worth it. Like, I even might want to cut a red for a blue here, because again, hitting a Sailor Means on 3 is so important. And we only need double red, like right at the end for the Silver Clad Ferocidons. 7 sources of blue to unlock more sources of red. Kind of makes sense to me. The Pirate's Pillage is also there. And we could also cook green and hope to be casting green spells off Sailor Means more. But I think cutting a red for a blue makes sense to me. Weird deck. We got all the Sailor Means. We got a Prosperous Parts, and this is letting us just play a bunch of different cards over different colors. We're going to see how it goes. This is definitely not the best example of a kind of Sailor Means blue deck that I've played. I think we jumped into it a little bit too late. I think there was a blue-white base we might have been able to go into and just splash some of these dinos and some of these red cards. But we kind of committed a little too late. I still think this deck is decent. I'm excited to see how it works out, and stay tuned to see how the rounds go.